This video might even be one of the most important videos in some people's life, because this situation, the situation of getting rejected and then afterwards getting an acceptance, was a life-changing decision for me in my personal life and also in my academic life. So it is possible that some of you who are in the situation right now, who got rejection or something, it might be something of a game changer for you. So this video will be part a story of how I got a rejection and got an admit afterwards in TUHH, and it is going to be part strategy about how you can do the same for you. So back in 2016, I had no idea about how you can apply to German universities in different scenarios. So if you have bad grades, you apply to more universities, and if you have good grades, you can also get away just by applying in 1 or 2 or 3. So that was the thing. So I had no idea. My main motivation to apply to just one university, and that was TUHH, was because Alina was here, she was studying here, so she couldn't move to any other city, and we have already been in long distance relationship since 2 years. So it wasn't something which we were looking forward to in the longer run too, because if I start doing masters in a different city, she's studying in Hamburg, and if I start studying in Berlin or something, again, the only opportunity which we would have for meeting each other would be the weekends. So that was out of the question. I was like, okay, let me just apply to TUHH. I will get the admission, no problems at all. So TUHH generally gives rejections on the basis that you don't have enough number of credits in your maths or your mechanics subjects, and you cannot really change it because the curriculum which is decided in India is most of the times approved by the AICTE, so there is some kind of standardization. So that was the situation for my course, which was a German taught program of Bauingenieurwesen, and I applied there. So it was, I think, around 14th July or something. I applied to the university, and then in early August I got the rejection, and I was really shocked and surprised because a lot of things were hanging on me getting an acceptance in this German university. It was like my job was hanging with that thing. Like, if I couldn't get an admit, I cannot start working part-time, and I cannot support the family, I cannot support Alina. So then it was like all just a huge question mark, and we didn't know what to do. So Alina was going through the rejection letter, and in the end she saw this little line like Rechtshelfsbelehrung, so like what you can do, what are your legal remedies in case you have a rejection. In that part was a Widerspruch, and there was also written about a Klage, which is like filing a law case, and Widerspruch is writing a reconsideration letter. So we thought about it, we started inquiring how we can write the reconsideration letter. We went to the university, we talked to the professors and so on. So afterwards we ended up formulating a really good draft, but we thought it was a good draft, and it wasn't a good draft at all. So I took that draft, I sent it to the company previously where I worked at, Schleichbergermann Partner, and there was one employee there, Monica, and she was extremely helpful. She printed out my draft, she corrected every single details there, and she helped me out. She told me that this is a legal document, so you cannot formulate it with some emotional arguments. You cannot say, hey, if you don't give me acceptance letter, my whole life will get ruined or some stuff like that, which I actually did. So she was like, no, these are not the right things. So we took help from her. She was really kind, but again, it was all about building relationships. When I was there in summer 2015, I actually actively tried to connect to every single person there. So that was the reason when I needed help from them, even after my internship was over, they were really ready to help them, and part of that was also because they were really kind people. So she helped me out. Then I also took help from a lawyer, and he helped me formulate the document better. So with all of those 2-3 things combined and the opinions of different people, we ended up with the final version of the reconsideration appeal, and we were actually pretty nervous about it. I wanted it to be as professional as it can, so I bound it in a proper, like a bachelor thesis kind of way, and it had all different kinds of document. It had document from the CEO of the previous company where I worked at, from Schleichberger and Partner, and because he was a professor himself, his recommendation letter meant a lot. He said that we know that he has good mechanics and mathematical skills, and it shouldn't be a problem. And then I got a recommendation letter from the company where I would have started working if my masters would have got accepted at that time, WTM Engineers in Hamburg. So they also sent me a recommendation letter. Then I compile all different kind of documents, internship references, everything which you can put together to throw yourself in a better light about the rejection reasons that the university has given to you. So that's what I did. Everything compiled. We went to the university, we gave the document, and I think after 1.5 months or something, we heard back from the university, and like to our surprise, I actually got accepted. So this was crazy. They took a lot of time, they went through all of the documents, and in the end they came up with this decision which really changed my life. This was like absolutely crazy. I could start working, I could have the student benefits, I could actually not waste my time, which I would have done otherwise if my masters wouldn't got accepted. Now again, I didn't end up pursuing structural engineering. I changed to international management and engineering in 2017. But again, because of that whole story, I could put my step inside the German university system. I was inside TUHH, I was a student there, and I could use all of their resources, all of the help they have to actually be able to do something in the direction which you like. So once you're inside the university, man, you have so much options. You want to change a course, you can do that. You want to take some other subjects, you can do that. You want to take help of the lawyers in the university, you can do that. You want to take the help of the psychologists or any kind of counseling services in the university, you can do that. So just getting inside a German university, it was such a big feat for me, and it wouldn't have been possible if we wouldn't have gone through this complete grind of compiling a reconsideration letter, you know, spending time with different kind of people, with the lawyer, with the employees at the company which I was working at before, and with the professors here in the TUHH. So all of that was really rewarding, and because I wanted to share my story and share my experience, which actually nobody had done before, nobody made a video about reconsideration letter. So in Feb 2017, I made the video about reconsideration letter and how I compiled my document, and I showed everything in detail, what I did, how I did, so that anybody who is in a similar situation like me, they can do something on the similar grounds, because I just know how much it could mean to get an acceptance from a university where you previously got rejection from. Your whole life course changes. The way your academic life would have turned out to be, the way your personal life would have turned out to be, it will all completely change, and all of those things, all of those efforts that we put inside, all of that was absolutely worth it. So I made that video, and then after making that video, now some new platforms popped up who have no idea of German, who have no idea about writing a reconsideration letter and things like that. And that's why I wanted to make this video. Just be aware of these kind of platforms. They cannot translate your documents, because most of the times universities like TUM, they would ask you to send a German translated document to them when you're submitting the reconsideration letter, right? So like they cannot do that, and if they do, they would like directly put in the Google translator and just give it to you, which isn't the correct thing. Like, it's horrible. What translation you get from Google Translator, for 1 or 2 sentences, it's fine, but most of the times it completely turns away the sense of the document, which is extremely important. If you want the university to consider your document properly, it has to be written in a proper legal language, and it shouldn't be something that you just take out from the Google Translator. And this thing I can say proudly, like I was the first one to make a video about reconsideration letter, to spread awareness about it, and to actually help some of my students to get an admit after they have received a rejection in the university. Here are a few things that you have to absolutely consider when you're writing a reconsideration letter. First of all, you have to submit all of the documents which you think are necessary, that the university can check with, that okay, you are actually, whatever things you're mentioning in your reconsideration letter, they are true. So that could be the syllabus, that could be your course mapper, that could be some internship references, that could be letter of recommendation, and so on. The language has to be professional and legal, and it shouldn't be something which is entirely emotional, because that's not how Germans take anything seriously. If you're trying to pull out some emotional arguments, you wouldn't be taken seriously. So that is also a very important thing. And I would say, do not wait till all of the universities you apply to give you a rejection letter, because there are a very limited number of universities which actually allow you to write a reconsideration letter. As soon as you have a rejection letter from any of these universities, you can think about writing a reconsideration letter. And now, because I have experience of more than 2 years in how to turn your rejection into actually an admit, I have a service on my website which you can apply for in case you need help with preparing your reconsideration letter, because I'm telling you, this is a very individual process for every single student it is going to be different. So just take care of it, that you are actually putting all of your efforts inside, because trust me, like one reconsideration letter, once you put all the time and efforts inside, it could really change the course of your life. But in any case, the important thing is this: you have this opportunity. You have the opportunity that once you get a rejection letter, you can even still get an admit afterwards. And you should rather use that rather than just leaving everything to the fate of the admission committee, because most of the times they get thousands of applications, trust me. And like, I was talking to one of the doctoral candidates in the university, which also help in the admission process and so on, and they were like, you know, we received like around 2,000 to 3,000 applications for the English taught program for one single course, and it is very difficult to go through all of the applications properly. So that's why maximum they are giving 10 to 15 seconds on one single application, just checking what kind of things he has done, what kind of grade he has, and they have to sort them out because they don't have time. If they start spending 30 minutes per application, man, the only thing they could be doing is just like taking care of the applications. So that's why it is highly likely that you might get a rejection in the first phase, in the application phase of your application procedure to German universities. But if you use this opportunity, if you use the opportunity of being rejected, it is again an opportunity to actually write a reconsideration appeal properly, you could get an admit afterwards, which could be something extremely life-changing, at least for people like me it was, for you too. So just see, be aware about it, be aware that only a few universities give you the right to write a reconsideration letter. Others will directly ask you to, you know, file a law case against the university in some court in Germany, which I wouldn't at all recommend. That is not the way you should go for, because the process is lengthy and the process is way more costly. If you lose the lawsuit, you would be paying all of the lawyer cost of the universities and your own lawyer cost anyways, and something on the top which the university had to spend, I don't know, mental stress or whatsoever. They put so many things inside. But with reconsideration letter, it's really simple. If you lose the reconsideration letter, most of the universities, they don't ask you to pay anything. Some universities do ask you to pay 40 to 50 euros afterwards. But again, I think that is absolutely nothing when you think about the chance of actually getting admitted here in the university that you want to study in. That rejection and this Widerspruch thing actually changed my life. I would have never been able to work in the company where I worked at previously, and I would have never been able to be a student here, which would have like changed so many things for me. Afterwards, even changing the course within the university became extremely easy for me. So like all of those things combined, you know, I absolutely would encourage you to write a reconsideration letter if you get a rejection. And I want you to know that there are just a few universities which allow it. And I also want you to know, in case you might get rejected again, you might have to pay some fee. But for me personally, like, it could be different for everybody. For me personally, that amount that you have to pay is absolutely nothing when you think about all of the expenses that you have to make when you have to come to Germany anyways. So if you're able to get that chance, I would absolutely take it. I took it, and well, it only took me to a better place. So many other students did it too, and now they are studying in the German university. So like, just be aware about it. If you need any kind of help or something, you can come to my website and you can apply for the service. Otherwise, just, you know, you can also try it on your own. I also have a lot of other videos where I have explained the whole procedure and so on. So just like, take a look at them otherwise. So in any case, all the best. Do not let the rejection put you down, because there are still opportunities afterwards. Like, look at me, I was so dumb to just apply to one German university with a 7.43 CGPA, which was like absolutely nothing. I got rejected, I got accepted, and things couldn't have been any better right now. Like, it also gave me so many different stories that I can tell you guys, so many different experiences I made just because I took those chances. So do that, take chances, tell stories, why not? In case you need help, you have my website. And in any case, best of luck. I'll see you in some other videos soon. I'm making a video with Michael today, and I also did a collaboration with the German Ministry of Economics and Technology. So there will be 4 or 5 videos in a series of digital initiative of Germany, which is going to be really interesting. I already shot the videos, I have to edit it, and then I will be releasing 1 video per week very soon. So I will be updating you all of that on Instagram. Keep an eye out for that, because all of the startups that I talk to, they are looking for people, they are looking for professionals who can work with them. So like I said, take chances, keep an eye out for my videos, and thanks for watching this one. I will see you in some other video super soon. Bye bye.